So I was sitting here on the bed today, and I learned something about my deck today. So this, what I'm about to say, is why boosters are my favorite deck. I did some research on them. I learned the history of the Bujins. So okay, boosters means war gods, but Konami wouldn't give us that name, so because it would be a problem with like a religion and stuff. So they gave us Bujin because that's what it means. Bujin come from an origin. It come from an Isunokami shrine. That's the name of the place. They all have relics. Like each card has their up form. Like Yamato, his story, he was cast down from the heavens by Harume for whatever he did. And Susanoo turned into Yamato when he hit the ground. So he's hitting inside of him. So when he goes into battle, he's able to go into that form. And Mikazuchi's form is Kagasuchi. He came to join the fight to help Yamato. Okay, Arsuda is the same thing. He was also united with Yamato in a battle. See, all of them was united. Harume, Mikazuchi, Yamato, and Arsuda to go and I guess they were trying to kill Haruko. The reason why Harume ended up with Matsurasa's form because he sealed Haruko away. So like everybody doesn't know what most of these cards do, but we can get into that discussion in another video. But on this series, we're going to talk about the origins. Like, let's see. Haruko, the one that just came out of Maximum Crisis, he tells his own story on the card because he's in Manila. And he says, in prison after a showdown with Bujin Harume over the Sky Throne, this master schemer eventually escaped by manipulating Harume and creating the sinister Bujinki Amaterasu. Then went to almost engulf the world in darkness, but finally defeated all Yamato and the allies. So he came out this year. We've been needing him, but he's part of the story of why they all teamed up. Even though Harume was like the angel of everything, but Amaterasu was originally over top of Haruko because it's darkness, and it make no sense because Harume's all like light, because he's an angel. Doesn't make sense. Inside of the Isunokami shrine, they had their relics, which were crane. I know there are others like boar and centipede and stuff. Turtle's defensive, but the offensive was Quillin. They said it was Quillin and Crane. Those are the offensives. Sinew was like a defense, kind of, sort of. And also Hair was a defense too. Other cards beef up the deck. Like in past formats, they had things like Kaiser and Vanities, which we all know. And everybody called this deck a helmet deck, which means they're saying it don't take no skill to play this deck. You just summon your model past turn. That may be the case, but it's not Bujin's that's helmet deck. That's not the case. It was Kaiser Coliseum that was a helmet deck that made it the helmet card. Period. Now it takes you actually have to think of what you're gonna do in this deck. Now, because of the new support like Ties of the Brethren and the new card like Haruko, you want to know what you do. I feel like it's a combos based deck, and combo decks can be stopped. Like if they say I can't special summon, I still can get around because boosters don't really need to special summon like that. Depends on what I have in my hand to get over that problematic monster or card. Um, if anybody doesn't know what most of these cards do, Hair stops destruction. Sinew is basically an honest engrave. The damage is half. Quellin, if you control a face up beast type warrior monster like Yamato, you can banish this and pop. Turtle, he stops your monster being targeted once. And Hair is once per turn too. And Crane is just from hand. And he's doing the damage step, so he's like honest, but everybody knows what honest does. And for the siege monsters, Amaterasu, depends on which player turn it is. Either you can add one from your banish zone to your hand, or you can special summon one. If you add this on your opponent's turn, you special summon this on your turn. It's better to do it on your turn. And also, you don't want to banish any of these. Other than if he's in the grave, you can banish him with roommate. But if you have a roommate, don't banish any of these. Banish one of the beast wards because you can special summon it right back with a Monterosso. Kakasuchi, nobody goes to him like that, but Mikazuchi was like the protector of Yamato. That's why his overform has the effect where he can protect all Bujin monsters once. But it's not once per turn, so you can continuously doing it. So like you have two materials, or if you made Haruko and made him, you have more material, you can just constantly keep protecting. And when he summoned, he mill file, so he gets stronger if he builds like the relics, like all the Bujinki monsters right here, or any other Bujin monster card, period. But his effect, you can send the top 5 cards in your deck. When he's a C summon, also this card gains 100 attack for each Bujin monster to the graveyard. If a Bujin Beast type war monster will be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can detach one material from the stage instead of destroying one of those monsters. You can only use the effect. You can all of them say you only can control one, even the main deck monsters. Yamato, everybody know what he does. And if you don't, at the end phase you add one Bujin monster card and then send to the grave. Susanoo lets you add or send to the graveyard one Bujin monster. It's not even really a card. And then he can attack all monsters once. And Mikazuchi, when like a Bujin monster sits from hand to the graveyard, you can add a spell of trap, which is basically Bujin Carnation, because we don't play sword and all the other cards anymore. Arasuda, if a Bujin monster is banished, he special summons. Tsukiyomi, if you have, let's say if I have two of the relics in hand, and I can activate his effect to ditch him and draw 2 cards, so now I have protection and I got a plus, so it's just a +2. I'm gonna say Haruko, he just helps you switch. Only thing he does in his deck is help you switch into any of these, in and out. Well, that was my discussion today for Bujin. So I'm going to continue to do research, but I think next week I'm going to move on to another deck. I think I'm going to move on to Cubics. I want to know the origin of Cubics. But I do know that this is my favorite, and I'm tired of everybody saying it's a helmet deck because it's not. But I guarantee you I can give this deck to somebody, they wouldn't even know what to do. Or some people are just new to the game and don't even know what Bujins are. You know what I'm saying? So people kill me with that. Well, I did the profile during the discussion, and on the next series, I'm going to do what the combo does and what it like. It can. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. Eventually, I'm going to change the build because I don't like the fact that sometimes I don't open up with Ties of the Brethren. I'm not going to depend on that. So I think I'm going to down Ties of the Brethren to 2, and I believe I'm going to put other cards in there to help me out, like Painful Decision and stuff, and just try to get board presence. And I'm going to take their advice. Shout out to Shogun and Bruce and the other players. Shout out to Chris Barnes. They've all told me like their own opinions, so I'm just going to sit back and just absorb it like a sponge and just work on it that way. But eventually, I have a final build for this, and I'm working on this deck at max rarity. Yeah, I got a little ways to go. Part of the Wild, these Ultimate Rare 57, and then Ultimate Rare Fire Formation Tankies, they cost $30 a piece, so I'm still working on them. I'm going to investigate in those eventually. And I found out that Amaterasu comes in a Ghost Rare, so I have to get Ghost Rares. Castel comes in Ghost Rare. Even Tiger King comes Ultimate Rare. Didn't even know that. And it's crazy because even Lightning comes in Ultimate Rare, so I gotta up the rarity. The Strikes come Ultimate Rare. I already have a playset of Ultimate Strikes, but those in the book. I'm not taking them out. Don't want them to get damaged or anything in that nature. But subscribe, comment below. If I'm wrong about any of the origin, comment and let me know. Or you can inbox me on Facebook. Name on Facebook is Tay Haley, TaeHaley. Inbox me any ideas, or you can just comment down below. Hit the subscribe button. All right, YouTube.